just going back to banking, nothing in this day and age, nothing should be off balance sheet. Nothing should be non-exchange traded. Like CDS in concept is a great thing, I think.
Yeah.
But standardize that contract, put it on exchange, and cap the amount of leverage.
Right, well, the whole OTC thing is a huge battle right now. I mean, Slate just did an article. J.P. Morgan makes like $10,000 on each of those OTC swap transactions, and if they make a market on an exchange-traded product, it's like a penny and a half.
3 pennies or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, where's the money?
Right. So, and this is something where I think, again, the CME could take a leadership role. And if they come in, they buy people out at 100 cents on the dollar, and they put this behind us, say, listen, we're going to make these couple changes. Because the system, let's face it, the system's pretty good.
The system is good, and let it work. Let the system work.
A system doesn't break in 200 years.
No.
You don't need, and it breaks one time.
System.
You don't have to blow that up.
Good system, good regulators.
But enforce the criminal law. Okay?
Exactly. That's
Do
all.
a real investigation, and if crimes are proven, put the bastards in jail.
Yep.
Right? Okay, but moving on from this, CME could say, listen, let's standardize these contracts. Let's put them on a new exchange, for derivatives, and have a CDS exchange.
Right.
Why not? We have the technology to do it. It's 2012.
CDS. Okay. Breaking news: CDS exchange.
I think that would be great for the world economy.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think you get rid of repos, and you get rid of these transactions that are just designed to obfuscate the reality.
What's happening now is the legal contract. What's happening in Greece is they're finding, you mean the credit default swap doesn't actually trigger, and the insurance isn't there. That was traded on
because it's not a standardized contract.
Exactly. Put it on an exchange, regulate it like we regulate things, and you're not going to have these problems.
And so for a second, let me just draw a parallel here between kind of like real life, like not financial life. We knew Osama bin Laden was up to no good and conducting terrorist activities in the Clinton administration.
Right.
And I think probably in large part because he was hamstrung because of the Lewinsky scandal. He didn't really do anything about it, right? And then 9/11 happened, and then we've been fighting wars for 10 years and have had countless thousands of Americans, both civilian and military, killed over it. And what has that done to our economy? How much of the problem we're into now is the fact we've been fighting 2 wars for 11 years.
That's
right?
crazy. We don't have the money to do that. That's, I don't want to get political, but that's what Ron Paul's saying.
So now drawing the parallel to this financial situation here, we've had warnings. Enron and WorldCom were our first warnings on off-balance sheet bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't fix it. The financial system blew up again in 2008 because of off-balance sheet derivatives.
Exactly.
We didn't fix it.
We said transparency and regulate it.
Dodd-Frank doesn't fix it, and Paul Volcker, who I've discussed this with personally, is I think, my interpretation is he's ashamed to have his name on the Volcker rule because that doesn't do anything really to fix it in its watered-down form.
Exactly. I think Volcker said you could do this in 30 pages, the Volcker rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it in 1 paragraph. Banks are not allowed to trade for their own account. Done. And make people say, here's your bank, here's your lending institution, then here's your investment bank, or here's your hedge fund with partner capital. Hedge funds and private investment banks are where risk-taking activities should be done. Right. Banks should be lenders and hold deposits, and that's it. Okay? But so going back, we're kind of at our, we've really had kind of our financial 9/11 in 2008, and now we just had another attack with MF Global.
9/11's coming.
This
whole thing explodes, it's going to be nuts.
And again, not to belittle 9/11, because obviously that's far worse, but to for our financial system, it's important. I think before 2008, the financial system was generating over 30% of U.S. GDP. It's important to every American in this country to have a functioning financial system with integrity, with proper deterrence, and without this off-balance sheet derivative BS that is like a ticking time bomb.
Right.
Let's fix it now before we have another 2008. But if that happens again, it's going to be worse.
I think this issue needs to be brought into the political discussion. Let's not I think MF Global and the sovereign debt issue, let's bring it into the political discussion.